Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness, by giving, will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 420th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute Education Department, and part of the public teachings in English. My name's Rick Carmen. I'll be your host once again in this weekly series of workshops. And once again, we have the honor of being joined with members and support members of the Universal Council who are eager to present today's program. So let me get that open and ready to go. And as soon, yes, just a second here.
Or maybe you can just leave that background up that you have, Rick, but go ahead. I think it's, again, a teaching tool just to sort of see that energy dimension. And that's what this meeting is about, more on the energy side. We know we all operate in two dimensions. And of course, we want to acknowledge and welcome everyone for being here and delivering this one planet, one nation, one race. And we thank you for contributing the fields to make this happen. Sometimes I've asked myself, what am I doing here? But apparently the souls have brought us together. Again, this is just in its infancy, as we see many things happening around the foundation that are in its infancy. But yes, this is the dimension of energy. As Mr. Keshe indicated, or the teachings indicate, we're opening up this mystery of the matter state of the entity to its energy dimension, which again, I've always thought it was for mystics or clairvoyants or people that had special abilities. But now we know we all have sort of these special abilities. And of course, there's a network being set up to, as we use our energies, and now we're seeing some of the puzzle pieces being put together and actually forming in the matter state, but again, in its infancy. So we thank everyone that's here for supporting and helping to develop and gift this beautiful gift to humanity of a one planet, which we have, and one nation, which we're connecting the nations and everything together. And then, of course, we have humanity, which is becoming enlightened and more peaceful. And this is our wish, for a permanent peaceful position on this planet and all its inhabitants. So thank you for contributing. As we understand, we're all contributing a very small corner of a very large process. So thank you all for being here. And we thank the beautiful souls as well. We acknowledge them. I was going to ask Dean if he'd like to say anything. We always like to hear from Dean, and he hasn't been with us in a while, or last week, I think you were here, Dean.
Yeah, I was indeed, Mark. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'd love to say something, Mark, just
please
to add to the introduction to the Universal Council meeting. So thank you, Mark, for those wonderful words. As always, you're very knowledgeable and full of beauty and wisdom in sharing the knowledge. We welcome you to this One Planet, One Nation, One Race. It is a time, a place and position right now where many souls are going through a transitional period, a transitional interaction of fields. And what does that mean? So we as the human beings, as the soul of man, as a centralized energy that's walking about in a physical body. The soul of the man is very aware of all illusions, all interactions, whether it's in the matter state of the physical body or whether it's in the the inner energy, the soul interactions of pure plasma. And we know, we sense and we feel it in the physicality of our bodies when we are going through a period of, as I said, transformation, transmutation. And I think many of us are understanding on a much grander scale, the unlimited capabilities of the soul that is present within our structure. We are interacting in the environment, and when we go outside of ourselves, we interact in the matter state, and we allow that to dictate to us certain aspects of our experiences of the physical realms. At the moment, planet Earth is going through some very significant rebalancing going on, where the soul of the man is out of line with the soul of physicality and the physicality. The physicality seems to be very prominent and has stepped forward and is conducting the show, and the soul in certain circumstances is taking a back seat and just saying, okay, you get on with it. However, we know when that soul is pulled back and into alignment, that or those souls, I should say, and that can be for each and every one of us, because no one is higher and no one is lower. So we all take the responsibility of using our soul energy to bring about peace on planet Earth. And we all have that capability. In this precise moment, you can direct your energy source to this very matter energies that we are, all suffering at the moment. We give unconditionally from our soul of the man to all the souls that are going through a transitional period, thanks to the present conditions that the planet is operating under. So understand the beauty of the soul, allow the soul to guide you and to be present with yourself, and to, for you to experience more than just what's outside of yourself. So you're being dictated to and what you are receiving, and understand that you can, once you start going inside and you start doing this inner work, the breathing, the interactions of being present with the soul, you can affect, you can touch another soul. So we can all give from our soul to all the theological, to all the world leaders, for them to come into a peaceful balance, into a peaceful way. We know the knowledge of the universe and the knowledge of Mr. Keshe and the Universal Council is of a higher order. It's universal knowledge that is being presented and gifted to humanity. And it's up to each and every one of us. Remember, you are all representing yourself and everybody else. It's not down to a particular leader or a particular soul in any place, time or position. It's for each and every one of us as one to accept the responsibility of being present in the moment and giving our centralized energy to a peaceful conclusion for the whole of humanity and all created creatures. So, as we see on this, thank you, Rick, for putting up the World Peace Treaty. I think it's so relevant, as we all know in these very moments. The World Peace Treaty, you sign it with your soul to be at peace with yourself and all of your environment. So I will read this quickly, if I may. We are citizens of the earth from this moment on, except to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this we all agree and swear with our nation, our territory, our council, our religion, our city, town, body, and soul. So we give from our soul to create that world peace within, and it starts at this precise moment when we actually create this by being present with our own soul, which is connected to all the souls. And when we use that energy and connect with all the souls, we become extremely magnificent in our energy structure of what we can achieve going forward for the whole of all the souls that are present with us. And there are countless trillions and billions beyond numbers that we could comprehend. So be present and bring this piece forward in this precise moment. It's so important, as we know, in the physicality, many of us are going through, experiencing many sufferings. And we, as souls, we view it from a position, and we view it on digital screens, and we hear the noise, and we experience it. The soul feels this and knows all this before it even happens. And when you tap into that ability, then you realize how much you can affect. So instead of always being outside of ourselves, when we come back within, we can then start to formulate and transcend and transform all the energies and help many others by giving from our soul, so the other soul can accept the beauty of the soul, which is, as we know, unlimited. So welcome to the One Planet, One Nation, One Race. You are very welcome, dear souls. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Rick.
I would like to add a few words. So if we examine the title of this document, World Peace Treaty is a manifesto of how we treat each other in a universal sense, in the universal way. It's to conduct ourselves according to the universal dimension of energy. At this moment, there are things going on this planet which doesn't appear to be along this line of universal conduct. In all the teaching and brainwashing even, we have been told many things. But within us, through our connection with the Creator, we do have this World Peace Treaty written within us, not with ink or paper, but with energy. And it is the time for us to examine our link with the Creator and its ramification in terms of universal conduct. And this conduct, let this conduct, as far as we can, to the very best of our ability, permeate what we know as the planetary universal field, planetary energy field, and see where it goes, how fast, how well. In the other end, when we come out of this current situation, we will go through a transition, but we will know for certain that our effort has triggered the transition to this World Peace Treaty. Thank you very much.
And just to add, as Mr. Keshe said, it's finding peace within yourself first, and then the others. And if Rick goes back to that background, we could see that I heard someone explaining about their religion, and I thought it was, in a way, instructive, where they said there's a greater struggle, and then there's a lesser struggle. And I think everyone knows that where that came from. But the greater struggle is improving yourself, making yourself speak better, perhaps, or acting better in the rest. And the lesser struggle is to improve the others. And this, in a way, is what we've heard, that you find peace within yourself, or as we see here, we know there's a paper that's been released, you are a galaxy. Now we know it's even gone beyond that. You are a unicos, but finding peace within your galaxy. And one of the ways we do this is to think and speak and try and act good. As he said, if you don't think wrong, then you don't do wrong and you don't speak wrong. But that's for you to apply it to yourself first. We think creating peace on this planet is to get everyone else to stop behaving wrong, or as we see it as wrong. But really, the struggle is within our own galaxy or our own unicos. And I think this example shows it beautifully, that you are a unicos. So just to add that, it's for you to find it within yourself. And of course, there's ways of doing this, and even techniques or other things, but even a game called Peace and Enlightenment, which perhaps we'll cover briefly later, where you can enter sort of into a flotation chamber of peace and enlightenment on this energy dimension, which is going to get added to this structure. But I think this will help improve the fields. And as he said, as the more you play this game, the more the ethos sinks in. And of course, we know we're bringing a new science, or adding to man's science, and plus a new ethos and a new language of peace and a different behavior. And this is what we're going to all fall in love with, I believe, is the behavior and the emotion of this new soul that's being created through the energies. Right ahead. So again, when it says about developing any tools of war on this planet or in space, I think that space dimension is right between your two ears, within that reactor, between the soul and the hydrogen of the brain of the man in the vacuum condition. So this is this, when he says no weapons in space, we are in space, and we're doing a lot of thinking, and sometimes as we are a reactor, we're creating quite a negative energy sometimes. Even we don't know it, or as we just heard from MOSFEC, we're coerced into believing and channeling our energies in that direction. But we're learning a new universal knowledge, which is setting all of us free. But there's no special formula. It's for you to apply it as you see fit. And I think this is part of the universal knowledge. But many systems are being put together to bring this about. As he said, the soup on this planet is just a little short, let's say, of being ready to serve. And this is the condition we found ourselves in. But apparently it's in the process of being remedied. They're not going to throw the soup out. They're going to adjust the soup, as any master chef. This is child's play for a master chef. So, and we're all becoming those master chefs within ourselves first, and then the others later, or the other things we have to deal with. So I just wanted to add that.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Certainly the soup seems to be coming to a boil here, so hopefully it'll be ready soon. Many hungry souls on this planet need some soul soup.
Or if anyone else wants to add to this, Rick, please share your, or contribute your fields or energies.
Okay, well, we can move to the next position here, I guess, which are the wishes. And I'll remind our audience here and in YouTube that we'll have a full minute of silence after each wish for you to contemplate and implement the wish. So let me see. We begin, I think, with Stefania, if she's available.
Yes, I am. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. We are the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the people of the planet for them to able to connect to the Creator without any intermediary. Sorry, we're present.
We, the Universal Council, wish for the enlightenment of humanity, not to be played for fools. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
We, the Universal Council, we, the universal creation, as one soul, feel the suffering of all existing souls. We are feeling the peace in each existing souls, creating condition of a new time, place what created of the unitas, position the unitas, possession soul of creator.
We elevate the souls of all members in the past, present, and future of the Universal Council as one soul, as one part of the totality of the knowledge of creation. And our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, make conditions for the for all structure around the Keshe Foundation to be supporting financially and to have what they need at the point of need to bring a total change. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, elevate all souls in existence present in the cosmic rivers of cosmic rays. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give from our felt strengths to empower the world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nations to a permanent, everlasting peace on this planet. Our wish is our command.
Next, we have the connection between souls with Dean.
Thank you, Rick. So we know that this particular presentation here, I've experienced this myself, and I've used these words and these intentions to bring peace to myself and my soul many, many times. In fact, I do it every time that I soul travel, every time that I close my eyes to, so say, go to sleep, to be awakened. I say these words, and then when I come back into the dream state, I speak them once more. So I join the soul of the man with the soul of physicality by speaking these words in this moment. I love you, my soul. I live you and I love with you, and I adore you. And when we speak these words, I've experienced it, and I'm sure you will too. If you have a wonderful connection with your soul, and you speak this with pure intention, you'll see what the soul will give back to you. And this wonderful teaching was given to us by Mr. Keshe, and I know those words had a very significant meaning. And set with the intention, using the physical voice, and saying those words, being in deep connection with your soul, transforms many things, and does bring a deep connection, and can lead to a very peaceful condition. And I think many of us would benefit from speaking these words at this particular moment. I don't know if anybody else would like to say something to this. Thank you, Rick.
Well, let's move on to the soul connection. I believe Stefania is doing the soul connection this week. Are you available, Stefania? Well, Dean, perhaps you would like to.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, go, Dean.
No, please, Elizabeth, if you're ready, please do it if you'd like to. It's not a problem.
Okay, thank you so much. The beautiful connection is when you speak these words, you connect your soul of physicality when your soul of the man, and you expand across the world. Your soul, for connected with each soul, give you, be part of the soul of the peace. And continue the soul connection in my own language. Uniendo nuestra alma en la fisicalidad con nuestra alma, decimos, para unirla, reconociendo que somos un solo ser, hablamos con nuestra alma, decimos, te amo, mi alma. Amo contigo, amo a través de ti, te adoro. Unimos como una sola energía el alma y la fisicalidad y nuestra alma. Sentimos cómo se expande y se conecta con todas las almas de todos los seres a nuestro alrededor como parte de esa alma de la paz. En una conexión, y entonces unimos nuestro deseo a esta energía potente de cada alma, pidiendo permiso al alma de todos y cada uno de los líderes mundiales, de los líderes de todo tipo de comunidad, médicos, científicos, religiosos, políticos, financieros. Pedimos que sus almas se eleven, se iluminen y firmen desde su alma el tratado de paz, para que así sus acciones estén de acuerdo con la ética del creador. Pensar, hablar, hacer el bien, para que todos, como una sola energía, que es la misma alma del creador, nos iluminemos. Elevemos también el alma del planeta, eliminando el sufrimiento de este planeta, porque somos el alma de la paz. Damos gracias a cada una de las almas que se han unido, que permanecen unidas como parte del alma de la paz, elevando el alma de cada ser en el planeta Tierra, para que cada ser tome de ella lo que necesita para su elevación, para su vida física en este planeta. Thank you to all souls in existence, to all souls connected as one soul at the planet Earth, because we are the soul of peace. And with that soul, all pain, take it when need, and where need, all need, and physicality and energy dimension are the live in this planet. And of course, I connected with the universal energies. Thank you so much.
Next, we have the invitation to the soul connection with Mehran.
Thank you very much. As we always said, we are the knowledge seekers. We get the information, we get the knowledge to apply it in our life for the best of everybody. And what we give comes back more than we give. That's the law of plasma. And now, what are the ways we can use it in practical life is that we send from our souls. Don't worry, nothing goes out. It comes back much more. In fact, that's the only one we can be enlightened. That's the only way we can be bigger. Otherwise, we stay the same all the time. So that's a beautiful thing which we learned here in plasma technology, that if we give from ourselves, which is the new version of praying. They used to say praying, and then they used to say depends how pure is the heart. And then they used to say, if you have a pure heart and good acts, deeds, and talk with your soul of man and soul of humanity, you can create gold in your hand. We are away from that for the moment because the time is different, because we are surrounded by all sorts of temptation and misguidance, and very difficult for everybody to see what's right and what's wrong, because sometimes people do things they think it's right because others do that. But as age comes and as we are steadfast in our goal, that we never forget our goal, which is to become flourishing in our souls, to have a better life later or in this world. So we go on, we learn, we may do mistakes, but we go on. And when we pray, in fact, that's the arm of the peaceful people. And when we give from our souls, everybody is winning. There is no loser in this game. And not only we can have the soul for ourselves, because the human soul is made this way, that we have to give like children, we have to give, we have to share with anybody. So when we share from our souls to others for what they need, our souls become bigger. So that's why we put this giving from our souls as universal counsel. And of course, everybody else can give from their souls. That's a good exercise, step by step. And so we, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and Universal family present on the earth to unify the soul at the soul level every time, every day at 9 p.m. CET, for the purpose of giving from our field, center of field strength, to enlighten the soul of the world leaders, to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging the nations to everlasting peace on earth and throughout the universe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marinez. And
Go ahead. Sorry.
to go along with that, I have the video on how to become a Universal Council member. It's a short excerpt from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop with Mr. Keshe.
Can I ask Mehran a question? On this, Mehran, if I have to work my job at that time, at that particular time, can I still, my boss doesn't want to see me praying or anything like that. I have to keep working. So can I participate in this even though I'm still working at my job at that point in time where we collectively gather on the energy dimension?
Of course. Of course, it's the quantity which matters, not quality. It's not a place we just sign off at something we do. And nobody can see what's going on in your soul to judge you. That's the only thing we can do in our private or even in public. We can be in public and do that whenever we feel like it. Because when we feel like it, it's more efficient. And of course, if we don't feel like it, we don't do it. Because if it's not from the heart and from the emotion, I don't know what it is useful for. So we can do it anytime if we want and if we find the occasion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mark. And And we'll go on now with our little video, 2 minutes here of Mr. Keshe.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of the Keshe Foundation, is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years. They are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Rick. I also want to add that from wherever you are, beautiful soul, the whole world became one planet, one race, one nation for justice and world peace. So you are so much welcome in the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization, in the beauty and totality of all that is love, to be the members of Universal Council, support Universal Council members. So do join. This is the time, the only time, to focus on our future self, to take humanity, to be with humanity, with all the love we are sharing each other. As Moshfegh said, the treaty of love, we have been within always. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. So all the love, always, your beautiful soul. Salam, namaste, salute. So we invite you to connect with a member of Universal Council to send us your question to be answered live each week, or the needs of your community. Thank you for joining us as one soul, dear beautiful soul. As we know that everything is in this newness, updating in a way. So the Universal Council page also, as we are all universal souls, as we know now. So you are so much welcome in the Telegram groups of different languages of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome, my dear beautiful soul. Share as we are all knowledge seekers. We are all learning together. This is the joy in this path of peace and enlightenment. So, if you ask, we will sort out the answers, as we say. Together, we will share. Together, we will be in this oneness. Please do share. Have a discussion. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute, beautiful soul.
Great, thank you, Shweta. And now we have an excerpt from the last 631st Knowledge Seekers Workshop about the knowledge of the universe. This is about 11 minutes. And just let me get that set up here. And away we go.
as we heard in the intro, which was done some teachings 2 years ago or plus, up and down, it talks about the same. The day will come that we can produce systems that we can reach the understanding and development, as man likes to make machines, to the lines, creation of the lines of the strength of the creator, that we can establish a system that we can understand the knowledge of creation. All of you here who are present here, you'll find out through your own structure, your own thoughts. If you're carrying your headsets with you or whatever, you're listening it openly. Today, we have reached that level. Some times ago, we reached the level. We understand how to create the line of connection to the world of the knowledge of the creation. Man goes to schools and colleges and universities to understand the matter state's life and gets specialized in one tiny thing and become arrogant about it, become professors and specialists, and the rest doesn't exist because I understood the peanuts in the haystack of the knowledge of the matter state. Where with the knowledge connecting to the dimension of the creation, or the line of connection to the creator, now that we have the knowledge how it works, develop technologies for it to do, you today in this teaching are subject to all of it. We are hammering you beyond your imagination with connection, dimension of the connection to the knowledge of the universe. Many of you in past couple of months in every session, one way or another, we have developed, we have set strength, and we set up conditions for you to create that line for yourself. You don't need us, but in a way, it's like a pipe clogged up with a lot of dirt, and it needs a bit of cleaning. And that dirt is what we call prejudices about what we know, that we are unique and the rest of it. And we're cleaning it up in a way that behind your back, a system is there, a detergent, a cleaning agent, which allows you, knowingly or unknowingly, open that access to the line of what we call your creator. You don't need anything else. You don't need us, but we have to develop this system that you can do. In the session tomorrow, which some of you attend, we will hammer you further. In a way, we try to fine-tune it, that you receive everything, and it's your choice what knowledge you want to do. Up to now, you went to see your uncle, your cousin, you traveled to the moon. Now you have access with the new structure to get access to the knowledge of the universe. We are the facilitators, we are the teachers. As a message I sent out of Iran in the past few days, we are teachers, we are universal teachers, not prophets. It's for you to decide which way you take your nation, that the people understand the knowledge, or you still keep them in the darkness of the faith, religion, and all the abuse of it. In a way, through systems we set up, and all of you who are here are getting hammered by it. The people who sit on the panelists see the lines in the background open, and it's how open you are to that knowledge, you get access to it. We have opened the path. In a way, we allow you to convert that knowledge to the knowledge of your understanding. We are streamlining the line, we are opening, we have opened today in this session, the lines that allows you to connect to the knowledge of the universe. In a way, you're sitting in a teaching, not only listening to me, but we have facilitated for you to have access to the knowledge. You have to choose which is knowledge. You have to create that emotion of that knowledge, and you get access to it. In a way, you are today, for the first time, sitting in a class of the universal knowledge. We have facilitated, we have opened the channels. And we have opened the channels in a way that in conversion of the information in your brain, you understand it in the matter state. You analyze it, you understand it. In a way, we are bringing the knowledge of the creation to your brain, to your soul, and then your soul is sending the information, connecting back
translates it to the knowledge of the universe. Science says, I'm hungry, but I want sugar. The science says, I'm hungry, I want sugar, but I want to get it from Coca-Cola. The science says, I'm hungry, I need sugar, but I can get it from chocolate. And then you classify which chocolate, how much of it, in which package, in what name, which flavors that your body has planned and it can absorb it. Now you're getting to that knowledge of the creation. What knowledge? Which part of it? How much of it? And what I can understand. And because you're a plasma field force, every plasma is connected to the others. You have a common denominator of the creator and the humanity on amino acid of this planet. So your knowledge is not yours. How can you patent it? Because by the time you patent it, because it's come to you free, it's already shared, connected to the others, and the others can tap into it. Now you understand how we do not believe in patenting, because man can patent for the physical matter, but now you're achieving, you are learning to tap into the knowledge of the universe. And there are no patent office, there are no certification, and there are no one to control you in what you hear, what you enlighten with, and what you use, and what you share. There is one punishment. And the punishment of it is, once you understand, once you're enlightened, withholding has its own punishment of not receiving. This is why in my teachings and all the teachings, we teach freely, because the second I stop teaching you, the second what comes to me is held back, for whatever reason, I lose that access, because I block the knowledge to be received. This is why all our teachings are so open, because we are the messengers. And our message is the knowledge of the creation from the Creator, not from us. And when I put that lock on it, I put the lock on me receiving the knowledge of the creation. So now that you are sitting here, all of you, some of you will listen to it in a later time, still the access is the same, because it stays within the structure. Your knowledge has to be free. And no knowledge can be held back. Oh, I found out, I have to patent it. The only thing is, you lock yourself from receiving. And a fool shoots himself in the foot and runs a marathon to win. In a way, when you do that, it's like killing. You will stop the knowledge. You kill your own line of connection to the universal knowledge. Now you understand the principle behind the teaching. Now you understand why we teach so openly. Now you understand why the knowledge, the enlightenment is for everyone and not exclusivity of, I keep it only for military, I keep it for only Iranians, I keep it only for my nation, I only keep it for humans and the rest of it. Because don't forget the other creatures of the universe have access to that common denominator line to the Creator. Is not exclusive. You're another processor. There is a difference that you have to understand very clearly, that the carbon 14 is a reflection of the light of the Creator in energy dimension. And when it slows down, becomes carbon 12, which is you humans sitting in the dimension of amino acid of the connection. So now you understand how, as a humanity, you can change the dimension through the fields of the emotion, through the fields of connection to the Creator. You sit and you wish something, or you do something with what we call the purity of heart. You do it because it's in with you, and then you see something else happens which pleases you. You have created the emotion of connection. You have connected your soul of physicality to your soul, and that soul is connected to everything else, and the feedback is what you wished in the dimension of physicality. How many of you have wished something and it came true? Now you understand you have access to to tap into the universal, what we call knowledge. And then when I need, everybody feeds, because I don't go on steal. I hope you can hear me. We are setting up a process that a lot of you can receive information and knowledge as part of the enlightenment and start feeding yourself in different ways according to what you need. Tap into the universal energies, tap into the universal knowledge is our main part. And today we're setting up that process. It won't happen instantaneously. That's because you wish it. If you don't knock on the right door or don't have the right strength, feel the strength of the what we call access to the world of creation, it'll become very hard. And then you have to answer yourself, how? What's the problem? Why can't I? Look within. Don't look in the holy books, because there's nothing holy with them. Look inside within your holy soul and see what you understand of yourself and what knowledge you want to understand and how you can share that knowledge freely with yourself first and the others. Then it's not your job to interpret. Every soul will interpret according to what it needs from the knowledge you have shared. And try to understand very well where you stand. You're just a tool, you're another satellite and not the owner.
All right, that completes our excerpt from the 631st Knowledge Seekers Workshop from last Thursday. And now we have the what's called the Knowledge and Understanding from the 631st Knowledge Seekers Workshop with Stefania and Dean and possibly others. I will play the traditional background music and video, and perhaps I'll insert our other background image in there as well. So please go ahead.
I don't know if Dean, you want to start, or Dean, would you like to start? I need a few minutes to find a position.
You can, of course I can, Stefania, if that's what you want me to do.
Yeah,
I can speak a little bit to
perfect.
begin with.
I have to just find a little position where I can speak.
Okay, yeah, no
perfect.
problem, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you, Stefania. So, according to what Mr. Keshe was just speaking about, and this is the understanding of the last Knowledge Seekers Workshop, I'm looking at this transcript now, and some of the things that Mr. Keshe said, as always, are very, very deep and very meaningful, and it's universal knowledge that it connects us to everything, you know, every interaction that we have, and everything that we think and do, everything that we physically, you know, how we move, it's all connected, and we have a choice in this moment how we are responsible for those connections. And Mr. Keshe was saying something about, along the lines of that it's not physical gold that matters. You know, it's the gold within, you know, the very creation point. It's the gold. It's the knowledge that's the gold. It's that wealth within. It's got nothing to do with physical gold. And man always goes for the wrong side. He says here that man chose matter over the energy that creates the matter. And just that one sentence, if you think about that. So, you know, if we go chasing outside of ourselves for these relics or these pieces of whatever they are in the physical form, and we chase after them, we give them power, and we give them our intention and our love and our wishes, and it's matter. And when you understand that we are creating, you know, the matter from the process of being present in a soul aspect of being present in a physical body. So when we connect with the soul, and when we use the soul to actually to give unconditionally for us to receive from the creator, from the creation, we can then create the matter from the thought. You know, it's happened many times where you have a thought, or you have something that comes to you, and you think, where did this come from? What is it? And then you realize that this thought has come, and it's because you've not rationalized it. It's a direct connection to the soul. And that connection, sometimes you think it, you know, it comes to you into the physical part of you. And then somebody else creates exactly what you've just thought on the other end of the world, in, you know, in another position in the universe. And you think, wow, I just thought about that. That's that connection. That's the souls all being connected together and receiving the knowledge from creation, from a, you know, from an energy point of view, and that then coming down through into the matter state. So that is the connection point. That is the soul connection to the matter. And this applies to all plasmas. And everything that we are and everything that we interpret is plasma. From an atom to a universe, it's all plasma. And we are made of this stardust. It's part of us. It's part of our structure. We are present in a physical form, and we are souls, you know, a divine energy that is connected to everything, each and every one of us. When we realize that it was spoken about a little bit earlier on, that the soul, or the energy of the soul, is like a universe, and that universe is between our ears. So that point, that energy source can be unlimited. Now we push ourselves, or we position ourselves into the physical form, and that space around within the physical form is a universe, is a totality. Outside of that totality, the creator is having a thought and creating the matter. And we are part of that matter in the physical form. But the connection is those universes that connect from, you know, the part that's within us in the brain to the part that's the brain of the creator, the bigger totality. And I think once we start to understand this, then we wouldn't be going along trying to find fool's gold or other conditions outside of our own physicality to accomplish something that we can do within. It's a very powerful tool, and this is what all the knowledge and the teachings have been about for quite some time, is to understand the power and the beauty of the soul when you connect, really deeply connect. And there's no theological teachings that have been present on the planet Earth that have actually got further than this. This is an addition to the knowledge, as Mr. Keshe would say. And we know that it doesn't matter the color of the skin, the nationality, what language you speak. It doesn't matter. It only matters outside of ourselves. And then we get tangled into a complete another position of possession of things that, when you really start to go inside, you understand they're worthless, and you hold on to them for a lifetime. But that lifetime doesn't end at that position. That we go back into that, into the energy state of being present in our thoughts, which is that universe that is connected to all the universes and the creator. And we can step between those dimensions in each and every moment, just with a thought, just with an intention to give and to help others. And the more we do this, the more connected we become, the more we experience in different ways, and the more that we change the environment of a plasma. Because everything is energy transfer. It's either giving or taking, receiving. It's magnetical or gravitational. And you have the possibility to conduct yourself, the responsibility to give in a way that enhances all. And that all is the soul of man, is the soul of the collective of all the souls. Because you are this collection, you are this point, you are the one position, and you are present in the moment right now. So that's, I'm sorry, I've gone off a little bit on the teachings of Mr. Keshe from this particular teaching into my own sort of understanding, but that's exactly what it is, that Mr. Keshe gives us these wonderful teachings, and we absorb it, and we transmute it into a way that we can understand it. And if we're thinking about it in a physical form, and we use the brain, it comes out a certain way. But when we don't do that, when we actually start to feel it and just be present, then you start to speak at one with everything. And when many people I used to be like this. When I could never speak in public. It was you can't speak in public. You're very, very nervous. But when you realize that that communication is outside of yourself, and when you communicate with your real beauty, then you're talking to yourself. You're at one with all. And then you stand fearless, as anyone can, because we're all part of the same. We are that one position. So that's my take on it, Stefania. I don't know if you'd like to come in now. If you had time to to find what you need to say.
Elodin, I think you done a good job speaking about the workshop of last week. I mean, it was very quite intense workshop. Was again a very important week. I thought also Mr. Keshe said a lot interesting things also in the second part when he also went into about how we are created. The question of Maranas were really very interested, and I find also interested at the end when he talk again about the frequency, and also I found really what I remember. I'll tell you all the stuff that I remember that stood up in my mind. Also, when there was intervention of the doctor from Iran, the nurse from Iran, that was very interesting when Mr. Keshe said that now we need to go back as well to think about I cannot say I cannot pronounce it. I cannot say in English. Sustainability. Rick, how do you say this? Sustainability. Please.
Sustainability?
Yeah, sustainability with knowledge. I just couldn't say it. It's a word I cannot pronounce. With knowledge. That was very interesting. So it really showed the importance of what we are doing, the importance of what we are studying, and the importance what the Keshe Foundation is doing, what we all doing, that is find a way to make sure that humankind has everything he needs at the point of need. And in the long term, Mr. Keshe make announcement, like where you're looking for scientists, you're looking for engineer, AI expert, everything. You can release in the workshop. and they have this intention to put all the puzzle together of all the knowledge of the Keshe Foundation, and in such a way, is a job cannot be done. It's a big job, because if we want to change humanity, is a big job. So we need the help in any direction with all the people we can, but we need an expert. We need an expert that can help to put all the puzzle together in such a way that we can create this universal system, this cosmic ray system. So we can provide to people where they needed a point of need. So we can, so like Mr. Keshe said in the past workshop, we're in a point where we can produce any material we want. People don't have to starve. We can get whatever we need. We don't need to go to work. So, so this will definitely will help. This will make us to take a different direction in the course of humanity. So, because if we don't depend anymore on the resources, of the earth resources, natural resources, if we don't depend anymore on this fuel, if you can get water when we need, all these things are very important for us to make a change. So we don't need to see all this conflict just because of power, gain power between big nation. Also, in the small picture, he encouraged us in this workshop for countries that feel threatened by the game of the leader, of the world leaders. He urged us again to go back into Ganses on the stuff we always learned in the past, like we did in the pandemic, for example, to really understand. That's why it's very important for us to not just copy and paste, but to really understand what we're doing. Some of us are really forward, and so we can also, in difficult situation, sustain ourselves and be able to go through difficult times and help people in need. Another good things also, like we said, what for me, another thing stood up in this workshop about the universal knowledge was that doesn't matter for example, doesn't matter if some of us, it doesn't matter who, the important things that we go forward and some of us will become enlightened. And the people will get enlightened, the people that will receive knowledge. Mr. Keshe has been very clear, they cannot hold it for themselves, and they automatically, they will share it with everybody. So we just need one person, two person, we just need some people who can go deeper with this knowledge and be enlightened, and we're all getting enlightened. So for me, this gives me also a big hope, because doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter who you are, but if you keep in learning, keep developing, get to know yourself and find this peace in you. As a ripple effect, we're all gonna receive it. So here we do the soul connection every day, and the soul connection is another practice where at the soul level we cannot be stopped, because we're all one. So we just practice, and try to understand more and more and more. And in the soul level, we all gonna get elevated. So we just have to keep going. So this for me was the last workshop. It was also very interesting when he talked about the question that Rick made about the AI, where there was this distinction between a soul and a consciousness. And Rick, I wanted to ask you something, no? many workshop ago, you asked a question to Mr. Keshe about, if I remember well, the question was, is plasma consciousness? And then Mr. Keshe said, plasma is consciousness. Is correct? Long time ago. I don't know if you remember. Long time ago about
It would probably be is plasma conscious?
conscious, yeah.
And then he would say plasma is consciousness.
Yeah, because this,
Yes.
yeah, I remember that because this was very interesting for me, because when then he said that the soul of AI, of a robot, it's very easy to make. But I said the soul of a human being, of a person, or any living being, because it's got consciousness, is much more complex things to to create. So that I thought was very interesting, that topic at the very end. Yes, so I remember this what stood up for me in the last workshop. And also another things that it's very important that we still receiving the cosmic ray, even when we listen the workshop, the recording. So people who missed out the workshop, they can always listen. And I found this regarding me true. And what I found that we get into a stage where we can connect to the fields even before to connect to the workshop. So my assumption is that by practice, keeping sharing the knowledge, because also Mr. Keshe said something very important. The knowledge has to be shared. The moment you stop sharing the knowledge, you will stop receiving. I think slowly we're gonna come to a point where we're all gonna get connected and elevated, and then we can overpass this transition stage that we are now, like Mushfaq said. So I just wanted to say this. I don't know if somebody else want to add anything, because I'm sure I forgot a lot of stuff. There are people from the last transmutation session. I'm very curious to know how that one went. I don't know if Rick, you were there, or Maranes. Yeah, so it's all for me. Thank you.
I was there for the last session, but I don't have anything amazing or even interesting to report, really. I made it through without a major emotional trauma, which is nice, and I felt much more relaxed than in some of the previous sessions. So that was very nice, actually, the way that worked out. So I felt more balanced, I guess you could say. Anybody else? Sorry, say again, Stefan.
No, I said interesting. Yeah. What I found out, but I don't know if it's relating to the last sessions. I found that, for example, for me, this unconditional love that Mr. Keshe talked a lot about it. I found I can get on better with people that I usually will irritate me. So I found this change. And then I found that my fields connection. So, for example, in my case, I found improvement. Usually, I start to. What I noticed through all these session with the cosmic ray, I noticed a gradual improvements of connecting with the fields. So now I connect more often, and suddenly, so I will do something, and suddenly I will start to feel all these fields, really feel the fields moving. Anyway, it's something that I kind of the way I connecting with the fields, I noticed that coming more regularly and more intense. And I'm thinking, wow, or maybe, things changing. Um, so I feel more connecting with also with the fields as a whole. So I can see we're going somewhere. We have to just keep going. So I don't know if Mehran, if she was there. I don't know if she want to add anything.
You mean the Friday session?
Yeah, are you were there? Are you were
Yeah,
there?
I was there, and it was strong. It was it was different. Different at some time. In the middle of the time, I put my hands around me, in front of me, and I felt a lot of energy, really heavy energy. And then I put them over my head, 40 centimeters over my head. I really felt this big, big energy between my hands. In my hands, maybe 35 centimeters away. It was really a strong magnetic field, and then I was writing all the feelings I had in the chat, and then I wrote it later on paper, and I gave it to Mr. Keshe. And at some time I felt peace, and I thought of God, and I said, thank you, God. I felt really, thank you, God. And then it finished. I wish it was a little longer to see what happens later. But usually I use it to see my life. And it's like a projector on my unconscious, on my soul. And it's my soul who is directing me to these things. So I really profit from this clear seeing of the things I didn't know. I get the answers. So it was beautiful.
Thank you, Mehran. It's very hard sometimes to put into word what you're feeling, and even when you say it, it doesn't sound what really is. This is what I found when we describe this experience. Thank you for.
It is something we really have to be passionate about, because sometimes I used to feel boring before. But he said that you just follow your goals. So a few minutes before I start, I wrote, what is my goal? And then when I had my goal, it was easy to just let go the work on the machine. And it was expanding my soul, my light, things like that. My light, no, my soul. It was opening up something. I don't know what it is. And so I just let go, knowing what I wanted to do, what was my goal. And I think my soul leads me to where I have to go. So I don't travel. I don't travel. Sometimes I remember sometime when we had a lot of time at first, during the first sessions, sometimes he let go for 12 hours. Then I was traveling to people, and I saw one or two very distinctive, very a special person, I don't say the name, in front of me, but in the form of grayish form. And so when it's too long, then I go, whatever. Of course, I saw my parents. I felt the people who were dead. Which one needs? I felt some people, I got more magnetic energy this time. And so I felt how their soul is in need, enthusiast, happy, something like that. Sometimes when I have time, I go and make a visit to my family, dead family. And in fact, the fact that I have connection with the dead people, I tell you, I never cry for them. Sometimes I'm very emotional. I cry just by emotion. But since I connect with my the dead family, I don't cry for them because I know that I'm in contact. I know I'm even closer than before. There is no kilometer behind us. And I know what I do, which I appreciate them. I give them love and appreciation. It goes to them. So I'm really giving them something. So why should I cry? I mean, there is no reason why I should cry because I do what am I supposed to do, and I give them something, and which is useful for them and useful for me. So I don't cry anymore for the dead people. I think I wish everybody find a way for the dead people to contact, no matter what philosophy or whatever. And then when they give them praying and they thank them, they give them love, it really suits the mind. It's amazing that even though we might be very sensible and emotional, then we don't feel they are lost. But in fact, they are not lost. They have just lost a little of their colors, if you wish, in the matter of being less reality in this world. But they're there, and they're thirsty to have our appreciation, our good intention, our thanks, our love. And that's more useful than when they were there and I had to call, I had to visit. So that's another beauty of the soul, that the souls are always there. Nothing dies. No soul dies, in fact. No soul dies. So we just try to accumulate the good things to have a bigger force. And when we have bigger force, we are more master of where we want to go. And of course, we choose where it's more pleasant. I mean, that's how I see it.
Thank you, Marines, for sharing. Thank you. I'm
You're
reading
welcome.
a note from, I think it was Lisbeth. I'm not sure. Yeah, we said to go back. Yeah, there is a note from Lisbeth also in the chat regarding the last workshop. Thank you so much, Marines. It was really beautiful what you just said. And we can go forward. If no one want to add anything, yeah. But I don't know how we do for time, so.
Yes, if I can add that,
Yeah, please.
I'm very, I mean, when the war to Iran happened, and especially they attacked the first thing, a little girls' school, about 90, then at the end, 190 people killed. It's very, very upset because I respect the right of children very much. And then it started to attack hospitals and things. I was just really enraged of all these bad intentions. And then all of a sudden, I saw people by masses of 10 million, 20 million, and they are fasting period. They don't eat during the day. So and it's cold. They are coming out. There's no place to walk between them. And every night they don't do prayers. They say God is greater. And then they read for them the story of the martyr Imam Hussein. You find it in Google. And then they are just determined. And they don't care about anything. And then you see in the sky, the bombs are coming down. And sometimes there are anti-missiles which are exploding. And these people are standing here, in masses of millions, and just look at the sky without having fear. And then I thought they are being mesmerized by their praying, because nobody is afraid of guiding themselves. And when I see that, I just find out how the soul, first of all, by difficulties can be greater. As the guy said, the pain makes us wise, the wisdom makes us rich. And I really find the richness in that ambience, in that atmosphere. It was just mesmerizing in the night. They are all praying. They are just determined, courageous. And the bombs are coming down here, there, over hospitals, over gymnasiums of girls. Especially the girls are the first target. And then the hospitals, which is even against the Geneva Treaty of Peace, of war. Anyhow, these people, instead of being, we cry, whatever, they just mourning, but a lot of courage and no fear. And that, to see that is a hope for humanity. We are not made only from body and desires. We can be hungry, go out. We can have catastrophe, because Khamenei was their father, was more than father, it was everything. And they killed him in his house with children. And he was fasting also, 87-year-old man. So these people, and their pride was broken because they attacked their religious leader. So they are there. And then, because Khamenei was not just religious, he talked 4 languages. He had been many times in prison before for liberty. And he writes and everything. He's very educated and very good in languages. So this guy is there, they are mourning, and there are bombs. I took the picture, there are bombs getting down. They are anti-missile over the sky. And that is the victory of something inside over the soul. I just had never seen that. So a lot of pictures. It's the same in every city. And that's how the soul directs the body. That's how I found out that the soul gives the power to the body to stand up, even though they're hungry, even though they have all the fear, they don't have fear. So that was an amazing thing. I don't know if anybody can feel it. The images I saw, I know that it would not go to the media, but that gave me some happiness that things can be different from what we think should be. That there's an immense power inside everybody, and misery doesn't make us miserable. Sometimes misery gives us that challenge, that more enthusiasm. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mehran. It's funny, I was going to ask you that exact question earlier, how your perceptions have changed or been different now compared to many years ago, let's say, in relation to going through stressful times, like you can't get more stressful than having your country bombed and whatnot. And it sounds like you found an elevated position to be able to look at things in a balanced way, that you can also give good energy to that situation rather than just crying about it, basically, is what a lot of people's response is.
In fact, I mean, it made my day, as they say. Just watching all this morning, which was happening last night, my life is not anymore the same. I discovered something about human being. What's inside human being that in the most terrifying moment with his faith in whatever they believe in, their going inside themselves, they get such a force, such a humanity. And I think I've never seen that. I'd never seen that. I knew they had done that before in the wars, before they could, in 8 years war, which they were obliged to follow. But I had seen things, I had heard about the sacrifice and this courage of them at this moment. But this, I think they all have changed, because in that mass, millions of mass and all this thing, and at the same time, the bombs were coming and they're not frightened, going, and nobody says, come here, nothing, it's just the whole respect each one to anyone, like everybody gets energy from the other one. I felt like that. And I personally changed myself also, that we cannot judge man by apparent fear or misery and catastrophe. And they are in front of an army which respects nothing. I mean, because Iranians, when they attack, they just attack what they have been attacked. For example, if they are bombed in the army building, they attack the army building. Just like that. But not freely the children, freely the hospitals with people inside. So they are in front of an enemy like that, which is fierce, no respect for humanity. So I really, I don't know the word, but I think they taught me something. And I think, and I'm sure that humanity is never the same before this. I'm absolutely sure. Because all these prayers go somewhere, scatters in the whole world, in my opinion. And you will see the world is never the same. We just see the news from everywhere. And I hope, I'm sure the world is never the same. Thank you.
Mehran, it's Dean here. I'd just like to thank you, Mehran, for opening up your soul to us and giving us, some inspiration and some knowledge about what's really going on. And when you were speaking, I looked at, I was looking at the transcript of the last Knowledge Seekers Workshop, 300 and, was it 631, and the words that came to me as I was listening to you was Mr. Keshe is saying here about carbon. So I'll take it back to science, even though this is a soul thing, but this is where science meets the soul of the man. So carbon 14 is like the reflection of the creator. And when it slows down to carbon 12 in man, it connects to the amino acid. And so that, what you were speaking about, that power and that invincibility to know that you can stand before something that has no respect. However, when you have this undeniable field strength from the creator, from creation, and you stand before something physically, but you have the inner energy of the creation behind you, you become fearless. And you become part of everything. And I think these beautiful souls that are becoming fearless and standing up are putting forward their physicalities, and but it's the soul of the man. It's this deep understanding of creation that is unlimited and will never ever step down, will always be present, and it is an impossibility to defeat this energy source. And I think each and every one of us are starting to feel this, realize this, and understand the power that we possess. And it's only when we decide to give it away that we suffer. So I feel for all the peoples that have ever been in any war, and particularly the all the people that stand in front of this horrendous conditions that are put forward for the sake of this fool's gold, this ridiculous thing that mankind does. And in one moment, the teachings of all the theological leaders and all the world leaders needs to reflect the ethos of the creation, as Mehran has just so wonderfully portrayed there. The very ethos of the soul of the man is present and is completely unlimited and unstoppable. The only limitation is what we think and what we allow. And man is starting to use this wonderful centralized energy and will no longer allow for it to be stolen by others. Thank you, Mehran. It's beautiful what you said. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think this country has been, ever since they wanted to be independent and they wanted to look like nobody else, that was one of the things they were saying. We are Islamic Republic, not the Western way, not the Eastern way, not the communist way, not the capitalist way. So since they are not in the system, even though they have never attacked anybody around them, any country, never been unjust to any neighbor country or anybody, or this, they have said they are killing people of themselves. They said the dictator is dead and they're coming to the street to be happy and change. They showed exactly the opposite. They showed that they are not stupid people. They know how to organize themselves. Apart from the technology they have, from the the war technology they have, which I think they say they are winning anyway. The YouTube of the analysts, American analysts, says they are throwing away Americans. But away from that, but I think these people prove that they are not what others say. They have everything. They are not just attacking others. They don't want to take the small pieces of the country who was being given, becoming Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan. They don't ever think about it. But now that they are forced to answer, you will see how they answer, even though they don't show it. So they showed that they have been very, very badly treated. Even here, they said the regime of mullah, and it's not a nice way to put a country. They had the most boycott and sanctions in the whole world. Hundreds of sanctions, even recently, more and more sanctions. In fact, they were taking the throat of the poor people of the country, but they stayed because they had faith and they were proud that they are on the right part, that there are those who defend Palestinians. Even though they're Shiite, they defend Sunnis. They put from themselves, they were attacked because of it, but they stayed fast. And now the pattern was to destroy this whole light of the humanity in the region, that they get rid of it once and for all. That was the pattern. And now God wanted, because of maybe the prayers and this whole unity of the whole people, things are changing. And they would see they didn't have to humiliate these people. But they were patient. They're very patient because they make carpets with hand. You don't know what they're doing, but at the end, and you see that there is a carpet, and they present it. So these people were very patient, but I think they are creating a history now. It's just 3 days gone. At first, they had attacked from the countries that were not supposed to help them. They are getting a lot of help from everywhere to send the missiles. That's why it's difficult to follow. But now they are getting their organization, and they have killed, like always, they have killed the major commanders, the generals, and there is no important scientist they could kill. So they attack all this first, but the whole thing came back and people put the commanders in place. Then they killed Khamenei. They thought, oh, the country is gone. But it has never existed like now with the whole unity. And I just follow to see what happens, but they're way in advance, I think. And they have decided this time to go as far as they want, because the other times they were demanding to stop the war, and they were stopping it, and they didn't want anything in exchange. They're so not confident of themselves. But this time, with killing of people which are not supposed to be killed, I think the enemy didn't understand the mentality of Shiite Iranian. That's why they really did the worst choice. Maybe the AI made the worst choice, because these people now, they are not stoppable. And so I hope that they show their lights after the whole thing, and things get calm, and they have more boycotts after that. So I'm very hopeful for humanity, because most of the things I saw in YouTube, they were in the comments, they were praying for Iranians, they were for Iranians, they were hoping them to be safe. And I was wondering, how come all this love to the Iranians? So I thank you very much for being interested. We all pray for them. We all pray for humanity, and beautiful days in front of us. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me see here. Let's carry on, I guess, into our next part. Let me get the program back here. And it appears to be transmutation time with Moshfek. Would you like to go ahead, please, Moshfek?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Let's start our session of transmutation with the realization that sometimes through adversity, as is demonstrated by Iranian people, we transmute for the better. And let us remember this and honor it in our transmission of energy to them, and for the benefit of whole humanity. As you know, we have been elevating the souls of leaders, perhaps even the leaders that we at the physical level may look misguided, but through the elevation of soul, they may have, through their action, and elevated the whole of humanity. And this war, maybe even their contribution is due to the receiving of the energy that has been given to them. So in the world of energy, things work in a different way. And we, those of us who are involved in the part of sending energy, we receive feedback, some of it at the level of physicality, some of it at the level of energy. Not just for us as individuals, but collectively as whole humanity and for the planet as a whole. And in this situation, we have to move forward in our capacity to transmute. So during the last Knowledge Seekers workshop, one of the aspects Mr. Keshe emphasized is the use of the connection with the knowledge of the creation that is available through our connection to the Creator. It is always available, and it is time for us, more than ever, to be able to use this capacity. So how does one go about remembering this connection that we all have? We see Iranian people demonstrating it in a very difficult situation. Shouldn't that encourage us to do the same when we are in a peaceful state? So one of the things that those of us who were present in that meeting experienced is this assistance through the enhancement unit to make this connection. what the enhancement unit is doing is removing some of the dirts and garbages that has accumulated over years of neglect and disuse. And Mr. Keshe also talked about that some of these things have been introduced or accumulated by our own habits of becoming conditioned by various forces that are in operation right now. So in this meeting, so one of the first things that we begin to sense is the feeling that comes with this kind of connection. How do we feel when we see this connection working better than ever in the Thursday meeting, for example? Can we remember it? Can we keep that feeling alive after the meeting ends? So that's one of the feelings. And the other feeling that comes with it is the connection to with the enhancement unit. So having this combination effect, can we, with our own effort, connect with the enhancement unit to experience the same feeling that we experienced during the meeting, Thursday meeting? And I tested it, and it is possible. And if I can do it, everybody else can do it too. And this was when, Rick and Mehnaz and others participated in the Friday meeting. And I did too. I was not connected to any device or anything else, but it was definite and tangible for me. All of us are capable of doing so. And of course, each of our experience will be unique, but that feeling, the connection, the link is definitely there. Can it be made to function better? Surely it can. But we have to start with the thin thread that we can feel at the beginning. In the end, it may be however strong we want it to be. But this connection with the Creator, and then on top of this connection, we have to bring our own intention into operation, in the sense that what knowledge we want to access. Let's look at an analogy of reading a thick book. We want to get some access to certain material in the book. And how do we access the thing that we want to learn from this book? We start with these are the topics we are interested in. And then we go to the index or the content, the table of content and things like that. And, eventually we get a clue of where to go and, get the relevant information. The story is the same when we do it on internet. But this time, it's our internet that connects the whole of creation, the storehouse of knowledge of the whole of creation. And we have to use our keys to access it the time and the place, the expression and all that is different. It's no longer coming from a book or going to Google or other things that is available on the internet or AI on the internet. It is a different story, but nevertheless, it is much more powerful and much more direct. And I don't have the whole idea of how it is, but I do have some experience, a little bit of hint, and it is amazing. And I will share something very interesting about before coming in contact with the Keshe Foundation. I had some thoughts about how fields work. And I mean, it didn't come from reading any book, by the way. Some of these things came from I just knew it had to be this way. And then involvement with the Keshe Foundation confirmed some of these things. And that's really what was my initial link with the knowledge of the foundation. Or for that matter, it's really the knowledge of the creator, the one that we are now have direct access and we can develop it. And can we see evidence of it in the past? If you look at inventions in the scientific world, it has never been one man or one person in a certain place, certain lab or whatever. If you examine the history of the planet, you'll see that when an invention came, there were people in various places doing the same thing. It was in the field, so to speak. Some of these people who are involved in it, they wanted to do it. They had access. May not be a firm and powerful access, but they had access. But the collective field is strong enough for that knowledge to become available to the planetary environment. And now we are in a position, we are much more aware of how this is possible. And we can apply it in many different areas. And we all have our unique ability to access, unique needs. And let's make this planet a beautiful piece. Heaven for all, not just humanity, but for the whole universe. Thank you very much. Perhaps somebody
Thank
else
you,
wants
my
to
dear.
share other things.
Yes. Thank you, my dear Moshfik. Thank you so, so much. And I also want to say, as those who are not in this fabric of oneness, well, they will certainly be in this duality. As Mother Earth, planet Earth is shedding the skin, everything we don't want in the matter state anymore will vanish and go away in a way. As we step into this new, peaceful and path of enlightenment, as I asked my soul, and first I said, I love you, my soul, because the pain is unbearable sometimes. And I asked my soul, what is? And the soul says, the game is over. And this is the newness. The game is over. Enough is enough, my dear. And as you are in this path of peace, love, and abundance, So every part of you will be fulfilled with universal love and all that is, all souls in existence in this collective oneness as we do one planet, one nation, one race, beautiful souls. This is happening. No more broken heart. As we, in the poetry, they say, when the heart is broken, there will be more light. But this time, you don't have to break your heart, my dear. You have to go forward. So I will say thank you, Moshfik, my dear, for explaining so many things. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute, dear one.
Master, good morning. I have a question and a comment. Maybe you can expand on it. First of all, my heart goes to the people of Iran, the kids that died and real that that's so unnecessary. It's thoughtful. Sometimes it feels like somebody's helpless. God knows the best. Master, so what you just said right now, with invention, somebody else did that. Where? Am I correct to the fact that because, like you said, it's fields, it means that it's available? And going by the teaching from Mr. Keshe, when you have the knowledge from the source, the fields from the source, interacting with the soul of man, then that feedback into the soul of physicality vis-a-vis via the brain, hitting the brain where the storage or the memory is. When it gets to that soul of physicality, that means it's available for whoever have the same fields to match and then grasp that knowledge. Am I correct to say that's what you mean when you say it's available? The invention is available. Somebody else might have that invention at the same time. So that means the fields are available in the soul of physicality. Is that correct?
When we talk about, the fields are available, it's not just soul of physicality, because if someone is accessing this knowledge and able to access this knowledge, and the inspiration comes from the soul of man, and the feedbacks that we receive, the gravitational part, covers the field strength at the soul of man level, and as well as when they would like to manifest it, it reaches the soul of physicality. So both. And this is where things get much more interesting, because the soul of physicality is prone to effects and distortions, often comes from the physicality, world of physicality. But the engagement of soul of man brings it to the universal level, in the sense that you cannot tamper with it anymore. And the souls that are similarly tuned, receive the same thing, both at the level of soul of man and soul of physicality. Both are, so this is what makes it much, much more universal in its application and its expression. It's not just for humanity on this planet, it's for the whole of creation. And some of the things, some of us with this perfect intention may bring will surprise us, will delight us. We will all appreciate the beauty. But this appreciation comes from both the soul of man level and the soul of physicality level. And things get much more exciting, in my opinion, when that's true. I hope I'm able to answer you.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Okay, perhaps we can move along to the next section here. Let's see, we have, well, the images of the new Keshe Foundation.at site, which you can sign up for as a full member or supporting member. And if you go to the Keshe Foundation.at, you'll find it looks like this. You can click on become a full member, become a support member, do a general donation, or donate for the One Nation Network. There's also a place, once you become a member, you can log in as a member. And this is part of getting your Keshe Foundation ID, and it's attached to the Keshe coin and other aspects of the Keshe Foundation as a member of the well, it's a new way of keeping track of folks and helping everyone come together as a real member of the Keshe Foundation rather than hanging out periphery, you could say. So check it out. Go try the Keshe Foundation.at and apply to be a full member. I think it has a minimum donation of €1 a year to be a member, so it doesn't have to be expensive unless you like to make a higher donation, which is always appreciated. All right, perhaps we can go to the announcements from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop. News from the Keshe Foundation Technology. Let me
Rick,
share.
how much duration of the announcement clip?
It's 8 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll play that now.
We have taught heavily on ganses and how to use it, how to create dimensional fields and energy, that you do not need to economically live to be short of medicine or short of food. The situation, and this is part of the, hopefully, in next few weeks and months as we release the ONNs, is to be able to fulfill what's the shortfall of this planet on the food and energy that nobody can ever use. Nurses, as people, we know a lot of doctors, some highly qualified doctors that are on the line. I know them from different universities in Iran, medical doctors in Tehran and around Iran, which listen to these teachings. Go back to Ganses. Try to understand the process of the energy transfer. You can feed yourselves and your people. You can find cure for your patients. And with it, try to use the process to strengthen the morale, or what you call the peace within people. We've seen, Iran is not the only one. We've seen Syria in past years, Iraq, we've seen Vietnam, we've seen Venezuela, we've seen Africa over centuries. And the time is to go back. You have, is, as I said, it's the first time in the knowledge that we can transfer from energy to matter, matter to energy. You have the matter which can go to energy to confirm you don't need necessarily the matter end of it. You need the energy of the transfer to that end. Like the way we've done in Corona time. Try to create a condition where you can utilize the energy, then the matter state is not. We are working on this in a different way across Keshe Foundation, because we are looking at the overall structure. One of my hopes is that these units of ONNs, sooner they sort out these complications. Every time they find a new problem with it, apparently this week again, they're ratifying, becomes part that we can mass produce the antennas or connections of it, that through it we can feed humanity. One day I explain. By just adding it to your mobile phones, you receive what you need. Or it's profitable, letting other people make money for it. When we be able to release the technology that spreads across 10,000 units on this planet, with it, we control the way we are controlling today. We had a Valentine's session, and Rick last week said what happened to him. So it's not just nothing. We assess, we see, we hear what other people went through. People write to us after the session. And then we listen to the other knowledge seekers who are not in the session, but because we release the fields and they've been in the system, I ask them, did you feel anything? They don't know what I'm looking for, but they tell me what I'm looking for. That we don't need the systems to connect, as long as we spread. This is the whole logic of the process. If we cannot fulfill the shortfall, we'll keep this humanity the way it is. And now we have the technology and we can fulfill the shortfall. I hope our computer team can complete another hiccup they had recently in the system. They think they ratified it, that we can put these as fast as possible across this planet. And then you will see. Emotion can be created. We, very soon, maybe in this year, we will test this in the market, changing the emotion of the man. And I'll explain when the time comes. You can actually, it's not a medicine, it's just a natural process. We release in the market a system, technology, which can change your emotion, which can change your decision making. Through emotion in a positive way. Not that we control you robotically, we create the ground for you to be able to charge and let go of the what I call the processes that create that condition of the killing. It's getting done, and we are in the process of doing it, but as a product. And then the reason of it is we have a lot of knowledge, which a lot of your knowledge seekers collected over past years that allows us to do this. Your knowledge seekers are very focused on the different thing. We sit and look at all the pictures. We sit in a position that all the knowledge comes to us. We sit on what they call it, a position in the pyramid of the knowledge, that we see everything transparent down to the ground. And we see where things connect to each other. Where you're not in that position, you just see what you're interested in. You don't get the knowledge information which comes up the ladder and how it ends up. If we make robots conscious of what they do, maybe through them we can teach them. But this is the biggest problem, and people use this. Governments will use this lack of consciousness to use the robots to do what they are doing with humans. When we ignore our values because we need to survive, we ignore our values because it satisfies certain emotions in us. You see this in militaries, you see this in prostitution, you see this in doctors without ethics.
Okay, that's our excerpt from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop, number 631, and yeah, news about the Keshe Foundation technology. Okay, back to our program here. Let's see. There we go.
Rick, it's Dean here. May I ask a quick question about this that you've just shown before we go on to the needs and wishes? Is this open to everybody to be able to join this Keshe Foundation .at? Do you know?
Well, I believe so. It's anyone who wishes to become a full member or supporting member. It may be, it's possible that it's not open to people from Belgium. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that. Maybe if I go to the site, it'll tell me.
So it's not limited to a location. It's to be spread across the planet. It's for everybody to be part, can become a member. Is this correct?
Yes, I believe so. Here, let me get up the actual site. Show it to you. Here we go. So I'll just read what it says here. It says the Keshe Foundation is a registered nonprofit association. The association supports education, research, and development in the field of plasma space technology, based on the knowledge of the chairman, Mehran Tavakoli Keshe. The association, by its statutes, is entrusted to all knowledge seekers worldwide, giving each full member the right to help shape its future. To support the Keshe Foundation, there are generally 3 options available. You may become a member, either as a full member or a supporting member, or you may make a one-time donation without any membership. Unfortunately, anonymous donations are not possible. At both membership levels, you can also make additional donations during and after the registration process. Every contribution, no matter the size, helps us make a greater impact. And then it distinguishes full members are those who actively participate in the activities of the association, thereby supporting the achievement of the association's purpose, and who pay a membership fee. And supporting members are those who support the activities of the association primarily by paying, usually an increased membership fee. And it says currently payments can only be made by way of PayPal. After your registration, you will be redirected to PayPal. And so you do it when you click on this, say, to become a full member. Then there is, you have to fill out some information, your new username and password, email address, if you have a donation amount, the membership pricing, which is a minimum price of €1 or higher, and your information, which all has to be correct because it'll end up being part of your ID, your Keshe ID, which will have to connect with other things such as your bank and whatnot. And plus you'll have to fill out or use PayPal to make your payment with as well.
So, Rick, do you think that this going forward will connect to those units, the new units that Mr. Keshe has been speaking about, that will be able to supply all the needs that many knowledge seekers around the world will potentially need, and they can receive energies in many different shapes and forms. And as this association grows and expands, more and more people will be contributing to it. And so like any seed, once a seed is set and it starts to germinate and bloom, the more it will contribute back into the physical side of humanity, but connecting on an energy state so that they can receive an abundance of energies that a human being would require in any circumstance. Does that sound like what its purpose is to you?
Well, this will be part of it for sure, and other parts might be the Keshe coin itself, and then the Enlightenment game, which is directly connected with the hardware equipment at the home base in Austria and perhaps other locations as well. And between different components and different ways of transmitting and receiving, people connect in various ways, I think, but they're all connected together in a certain way with being part of the network, where you become part of the network by signing up to the Keshe Foundation. It takes quite a bit to be able to do that. You have to be willing to let go of your name and address and whatnot. And, it's a security concern, you could say. But on the other hand, that helps. Well, for one thing, it's the way of the future internet. Everyone has to be, you can't be anonymous. It's hard to be anonymous anymore. There's laws coming in against people being anonymous. So you have to get used to the idea that you will have an ID generally for interacting with things on the internet, and we have ways of getting around that now, but that'll be more and more closed off as we go along. And so becoming part of the Keshe Foundation is just signing up and trusting that that system is a good way to interact. And it is multiply connected. When you connect with the Enlightenment game, you're actually connecting with the Keshe coin, the cash coin, which is used inside the game, and the possibility of interacting with others to provide goods and services to others through this gaming kind of environment. So there's a lot more to it than what meets the eye, and we'll find out more as we go along, as it's quite a complex gaming environment and coin environment and all of that, and it evolves as we go along as well. But this has all been part of the long-term plan of Mr. Keshe, and he's talked about the Keshe coin years ago and many years ago, and other parts of it. The new game, Enlightenment game, that's only been in the last couple of months or so that's been manifesting. But that also is scheduled on March 21st, I believe it is, to have its go out of beta into the actual 1.0 game environment. So we look forward to that.
That all sounds wonderful, Rick. I must admit, I haven't been into this game yet. I've been busy in physicality, doing some things. So I need to connect with this and get involved. I see that in the chat, Stefania's put something. What is the difference between a full member and a support member for this application? Do you know, Rick, what the difference is?
Well, according to what I read here, it seems that the full members are those who actively participate in the activities of the association, as opposed to supporting members who support the activities of the association primarily by paying an increased membership fee. So it's kind of reversed in a way. You think the full members would pay more, but in the way it says it here, the supporting members are those that pay a fee, and that's how they support the activities of the association. The full members will actively participate in the activities. And as it mentions here, each full member has the right to help shape the future of the Keshe Foundation. So that's built into its statutes. As a full member, you'll have opportunities to participate in various activities and have a voice towards shaping the future of the Keshe Foundation. That's the way I understand it.
Yeah, that looks very good. And Rick, I suppose this will connect a lot of the foundations, knowledge seekers across the planet, across the globe, so that they can interact with each other and on many different levels. So there will be some, opportunities to, to even travel to other places, and then maybe on the other side receive the energies and distribute these energies to be shared amongst the knowledge seekers, and remembering that we're all knowledge seekers. Really, this is the whole of humanity. If they understand the implications of what Mr. Keshe has put forward here, how do you see that, Rick?
Well, I'm sure he would love it if every single human being signed up for the program here, and that would go right along with that. I wonder if to be a member, you probably have to sign the World Peace Treaty, or at least agree to, I would think, but I haven't seen that woven into it yet here. But it would make sense that that's part of, so he's part of being part of the Keshe Foundation is to agree to that that World Peace Treaty. Whether you actually physically sign it or agree to it, one way or another, it's kind of built into the territory.
It'll be interesting, Rick, how many people will actually sign up for this, that whether you put yourself in a position where you no longer need this outside influence to feed you and to give you all the aspects of a normal life in physicality, where you can receive it in a different way. And it will be interesting to see those that are very physical will not want to do this, and those that are ready to actually to share the knowledge and share their energies, whether they accept, as you said, you spoke about losing their identity as such and becoming this different form of identification as a soul. Do you think that that will be a slow take up, or is that something that people will understand from the very beginning?
Well, people are pretty skeptical of forms. As soon as you see a form that wants your name, address, and various other personal details, you either assume it's you're signing up for a credit card or some other high security system, or you're getting scammed by some company that wants to obtain your personal information. So there's a lot of people that have that fear these days. But like I said, I think that we're moving into a time when you won't be able to be anonymous on the internet and make comments and leave things in chats and so on, because everything will be traceable. Everything will be, you'll have to be responsible for your statements and, take ownership of it, basically. And that means if you expect to be on the internet, you have to be proud of being there. And, there might be things that are working against us in some ways. We've always had some resistance with the ideas and technologies of the Keshe Foundation. But on the other hand, we still have a presence on the internet. We still have YouTube channels. We still have all kinds of knowledge that stays on the internet, and it's there because it's supposed to be there, and it's allowed to be there by the higher laws that pertain to this kind of thing. So I think that when people sign up, they can be proud to be a member and proud to give their personal information. And it's not like you're giving everything up, because you're just asserting your presence within this association. And if everyone becomes part of the association, then there won't be any problem at all with all that. But of course, everyone won't, and probably a lot of people won't take the plunge of signing up to be a full member, or even a supporting member. But hopefully they will see that this is kind of the way of the future, and the way that we can learn to interact. It's actually the key. This would be the key to learning to interact through the enlightenment game, or interacting through the various devices and other Keshe Foundation products. It may be that you have to, in the new stores coming up shortly, you probably have to sign up for the store before you can access everything and be able to.
Are you still there, Rick? I mean,
the
we lost you for a second,
treasures.
then, Rick. We lost you for a little while.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not sure what to say about that.
So it sounds wonderful. I think that if you have the ethos of being present as a soul, being present, you don't need to hide behind pseudonyms and other names and things. You stand there firm with your intentions, and you let the world know, you let the souls know that your intentions. And if you have the correct ethos, it would never be a problem to show yourself, and to put a picture of yourself or whatever, so that people recognize it's you. There's no way of hiding from the truth. And I think that ethos is greatly needed in these moments. So I think it would be very telling and very wonderful to see the people that do actually commit to this and bring themselves forward, because they are, you're basically telling the world that you are in a certain position of understanding and knowledge and transparency as a human being. And I think this will be a very, poignant and very beautiful thing for people to understand. You're going to get a very much of a new dimension of those that can't or won't, and those that are open and can. And that, the stronger feeds the weaker. Plasma, as we know, is in everything. And with the situation that we have with AI and the robots and all this, and the consciousness of giving a robot and all these things that have been spoken about, in the moments to follow, it might be that it's a slow take up, but then all of a sudden there may be many people, many souls that realize the importance of being present with this, these informations, these energies, and this possibility that is a very big change on planet Earth. It opens up a totally new spectrum where you're not tied into a system that just takes from you constantly. This is a system that gives. This is a system that's designed to enhance you. That's a truly a complete flip of the energies that we've been experiencing for a very long time. So I think this will, hopefully people will understand the importance of what Mr. Keshe has put forward here, and the importance of the Keshe Foundation's knowledge, and just being present and just understanding what is on the table here. It's I think it's going to be a very beautiful thing. What do you think, Rick?
Yes, I think so, exactly. And I do think it's taking a risk for most people, you could say. It's in the same way that the Ayatollah Khomeini took a risk. He knew the risk and was willing to be a martyr for it. Are you willing to be an Ayatollah or beyond an Ayatollah, to stand up for your beliefs and for truth? He knew he did not hang out in the bomb shelters, which he could have easily done. And he stated exactly that he was not going to do that. He was not going to hide. And he, basically told the US and Israel that, hey, I'm going to be at home. If you want to bomb me, that's where I am. And he was probably saying prayers, or he was at a meeting with his other people at the time, and so on. And I had the same vision that Mehran had as well, that he was basically a peaceful person that was in a kind of a bad situation, has been for many years, and in that sense. But he's always been reasonable compared to many of the other Ayatollahs and whatnot. So in any case, I felt my heart go out to that whole situation, and felt the pain of that, but at the same time, try to put forward good energy, because it's not my personal pain is not what's required. It's the feeling of, or putting forward that positive energy of connectedness and peace for all, in spite of what we see going on in front of us. And I think Khomeini was like that. In spite of chaos around him, he was willing to connect with his soul and pay the ultimate price in this case. Maybe we need to live every day like it's our last day, and feel some real emotion about our lives, so that we can accomplish more than what we ever thought we could.
It's always the same, Rick. It only takes one to stand and to be present and to understand, the clarity and the beauty that we possess, that we have. That's part of us, and we all have that choice in this precise moment. And you can, many people decide not to, and they just carry on and go back into their own worlds and lives and cycles. And then some, the knowledge seekers that we know, there are many here on this panel and that are listening, that they know the beauty of the soul, and they put themselves forward timelessly, time and time again. It's always the same ones, and the strength of the soul is very apparent, and hopefully that field strength rubs off and becomes part of many, many other souls as this knowledge, really just becomes part of the reality of being present here because it's such huge knowledge that it cannot be misrepresented, and it cannot be taken over by any one or any organization. It's a gift for each and every one of us, and it's for each and every one of us to become part of this big picture. You have a choice.
Yes, indeed. Okay, we probably should move along here, I guess. Thank you, Dean.
Thank you, Rick.
And let me see. Yes, let's get into our needs and wishes part of the program. And I'll remind folks that we'll have 30 seconds of half a minute of silence after each wish. And let me see, I think we start off.
Yes, thank you, my dear. Eric, we cannot see the screen now.
No. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
let me just continue my share process. There we go.
Thank you.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think Baroness for the first one.
Yes, yes, thank you. We, the Universal Council, give from our souls to Martyr of Peace, Ayatollah Khamenei, leader of Shiites, in his ascension to his Creator in peace. May this open the heart of humanity for peace in the world. This is our wish, and our wish is our command, and our command is our wish.
Mashfaq, are you available for this one?
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for the protection of those who living with fear in natural disaster areas. And our soul wishes, to help cover all emotional and psychical needs.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflicts in Sudan and other areas only by greed with unconditional love and inner peace so that they respect the lives of all populations because they are sovereign and free. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. We are present. Our wish is our command. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul collectively to protect all the world and Iran from all evil. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal.
Thank you, my dear Rick, as we are here to serve, not to be served, beautiful souls. I salute the martyrs of peace, the beautiful souls of love and peace departed. Salam, namaste, salute to them, and all the love always. And as we know, soul doesn't die, it is eternal. So we are always together. So welcome, welcome, welcome again into the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Swagatam into the beauty and totality of all universal souls. We are all souls in existence. We are all the love, always. We are together. We are one soul of peace. The Universal Council, dear beautiful souls. Thank you for being always here. Thank you. Gratitude from the core of my heart and soul. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Shweta, and thanks, of course, to all the members and support members of the Universal Council for presenting today's program, the 420th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace, here on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. And we have a couple of things coming up as our next public teaching workshops. Let me get my calendar up here to confirm. And, well, of course, tomorrow is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group that starts at the 7 a.m. Central European Time. And that'll be a Wednesday, the 4th of March. And folks are welcome to attend if you have questions or things you'd like to show regarding the plasma technology or practical things you'd like to discuss, then that's a good place to do that. And of course, we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up on the 5th. That'll be Thursday at 9 a.m. Central European Time. And I will note we have coming up on Monday, that is Monday the 9th, following, the public meeting for testimonials. And if you have anything at all that you would like to impart to the public about the plasma technology, some experience that you've had that's made a difference in your life from the application of the technology or from being present in a session of some sort, or anything that may have influenced your life. We'd like to hear about it. That starts at 8 p.m. on Monday the 9th. Again, the public meeting for testimonials. And I will note that there'll be a time change this weekend for folks in part of the Western world, at least, where we go to daytime savings time, and daylight savings time, I think it's called. And it's interesting to note, in the province that I'm in British Columbia, they just made a law to not switch back to the fall back time in the fall, they call it. It won't be switching back in the fall. We're going to stay on the same time all year round, because we've had it with all the switching business, and we hope the rest of the world's going to take that into account too. So there will be a time change this weekend. There'll be other announcements, and you'll have to just watch your local time for that Monday on the 9th because I think the time changes on Sunday the 8th. So anyway, keep in touch that way, and I hope we all keep in touch with the teachings of Mr. Keshe and the Keshe Foundation, and do sign up for the keshefoundation.at. It's the way of the future, and do play the Keshe Enlightenment game as well. That's I think it has benefits to help emotionally with people. It has helped me, so I'll do a testimonial of that in the testimonials group. All right. Again, thank you everyone for attending today, and thanks to our
Thank you. I will
members
say
of the
that, my
Universal
dear,
Council.
that I want to say, Rick, that as one tribe we are becoming again, and nobody's departed. As souls came close more, so as one tribe in all that is love, we dance and clap and be happy always. Always be a beautiful soul. Clap, clap, and dance. Thank you.
Speaking of clapping and dancing, whoops, that'll be the way we can find it here. I just need to go bye. Just bear with me a second or two. There we go. Yes, we'll go out with our usual flight enhancement spaceship unit. And may you clap and dance your way through the day. And bye for now. See you in the next teaching.